You are just going to be, a doormat, a servant, or an emotional toilet for the narcissist. Hello everyone, I hope everyone is doing good and taking good care of themselves. So today I'm going to talk about why people get trapped in narcissistic relationship. Why does it get really difficult to come out of narcissistic relationship? And before I get going, I would request you all to like, share, subscribe the channel, hit the notification bell so you guys are updated whenever we put out a new content. So as we know that these narcissists lack empathy, zero tolerance towards criticism, they lack self-reflection, they're very self-centered, selfish. They see you and me as supply, whether it is money, whether it's labor, admiration, validation, whatever it is. So they really don't value relationships. Relationships are very instrumental and transactional with narcissists. So as long as you're able to give them what they want out of you, it's fine, it's okay. But the moment you are unable to deliver what they want out of you, there is a very strong chance that you might be discarded, or you might be there in the relationship, but you might be treated as a furniture. So things are very different. It's very unhealthy, it's very toxic when you are in relationship with a narcissist, whether it is your parent, whether it is your spouse, boss, sibling, friends, whatever. It's one-way stuff. Yeah, you just have to keep on doing what they want you to do, but you cannot expect anything in return. That's how things are. It's quite transactional and one way. Your emotions, your feelings are never validated. You are just there to perform a certain set of rules and duties, and that's it. If you are unable to do that, well, you are not good enough, and their gaslighting goes on. And also you need to understand that no one is good enough for narcissists, whether it is you or whether it is anybody else, because narcissists manipulate you, narcissists gaslight you into thinking that you are not good enough. You begin to doubt your feelings, your gut feeling, your emotion, your thought. You begin to doubt anything and everything inside of you, and that's how you are off balance and you remain on hook. And that's how these narcissists, control their victim, whether it's you or me or whoever or whatever the relationship is. So reason number one is guilt. Narcissists are very fond of guilt tripping. It's one of their favorite, tactics to control and manipulate us. They guilt trip you, into thinking and feeling that you are not good enough and you might never be able to repay them what they have done for you. And it might sound, like, I mean, if you are having a narcissistic parent, they might say, well, you can never repay me what I have done for you. Well, every parent does a lot of things for their kids, and that's fine, and kids also do a lot of things for their parent. When the relationship is healthy, it's a two-way thing. Yeah, both people do, whatever is possible for them, for each other, whether it's kid or whether it's parent. But when we look at narcissistic parents, there's lots of guilt tripping. What I have done for you, you're never going to be able to repay me. Yeah, they are going to first let you know that you are not capable of repaying them or paying them back, and no matter how much you try, you will never be able to have that even point. Yeah, so they do that to keep you on hook, keep you on leash, so that you go on doing things the way how they want. And you do it in hopes that one fine day they're going to say that, wow, you have done a lot more. I didn't do much for you, but you did quite a lot. Thank you so much. You had been such a kind-hearted son. You had been such a kind daughter. You had been such a kind husband. But such thing, such day never comes. So, guilt tripping is one of the most important tools that is used by the narcissist. So, what happens is that when we are in narcissistic relationship, we automatically feel guilty about anything and everything. We feel guilty, for hurting the narcissist. What if I say this, or if I do this, or if I leave the relationship? What if it hurts him? What if it, really puts him or her in distress? And what will people say? How would people look at me? What would people think of me? Yeah, so there is a lot of mess that happens on the inside, of all of us when we have a narcissist in our life. And we begin to second guess, we begin to doubt, and there is a lot of this guilt inside of us. Life is like walking on eggshells. So we really don't say anything because we know what would be thrown at us. Narcissistic rage. If we say no, or if we tell them that, hey, I'm leaving you, I'm done with you, we know, we get a taste of it. Yeah, I mean, every normal human being does say no at some point. But when you are in relationship with a narcissist, you are taught a very wonderful lesson when you try and say no. And it really gets registered at the back of your mind, and how things are going to be, how ugly it's going to be. So the best thing is, rather than saying no, or telling them anything, it's okay, let it be the way how it is. Yeah, so we really feel guilty in leaving the narcissist. We really feel guilty in even taking that decision to come out of the narcissistic relationship. So that's how damaging a narcissist guilt tripping, manipulation, and gaslighting is. Yeah, you really become handicapped, you really become dependent on the narcissist. You really don't do anything that really irritates them, or that makes them furious, and that makes them throw rage at you. And you know how the rage looks like: passive aggression, silent treatment. They might go on smearing also. Some of them even get physically violent. So there is a lot of guilt that is inside of us that stops us from taking that decision of leaving the narcissist. We feel guilty as to how other relatives will look at my decision, how my children will look at me. If I leave my narcissistic husband, what would my mother-in-law say? What would my friends say? They might say that I'm a cruel mother. They might say I'm a cruel husband. They might say I'm a cruel daughter. Yeah, so we are scared of being judged. So there is a lot of this fear of being judged, and overall we really feel responsible for anything and everything. And we really don't want to hurt or mess up things, because we know that we stand nowhere. When you are in relationship with a narcissist, or if you're raised by narcissists, you know how things are. No matter what you do, no matter what you say, you know that the narcissist knows your weak spot. They know how to press the buttons and get the work done out of you. So you know on the inside where you stand when you have a narcissist around of you. So there is a lot of guilt, and guilt is like a glue that keeps you stuck, or that keeps us stuck in narcissistic relationship. There is a lot of guilt tripping. Oh, I have done so much for you. Well, this was expected. Yeah, I know. After doing all that, now you want to leave me? You want to leave this relationship? You want to abandon me? Well, what more to expect out of you? As it is, there has been series of guilt tripping and gaslighting and manipulation in making you feel and double guess and doubt your own feeling and emotions. And then when you tell them that, hey, I'm planning to leave you, I'm done with you, I can't handle all this abuses on a daily basis, and then they are going to guilt trip you. And then you're going to feel guilty that, am I being too harsh? Am I being too rude? Maybe I should give him another chance. Maybe I should not do it. Let's see how things, turn out after a year. Let's see how things change. Maybe once I have kid, things are going to change. Maybe once I have job, things are going to change. Maybe he's under stress and that's why he's behaving, in such a weird way. So a lot of things, goes inside of us, and that's because of that constant gaslighting and, that grooming regime that, we are, taken through. So yes, guilt is something that keeps us stuck with the narcissist. The second thing that keeps us stuck in narcissistic relationship is hope, and the entire credit goes to movies, serials, toxic enablers around of us, who keep on telling us, who keep on selling us this, fairy tale idea and dream that, after a point, things are going to change. You have got no idea. Bear with it, sacrifice a little bit, things are going to change. Everything is going to come under your control. You are going to be, the center of the entire family. You are going to be the, beloved one. Just bear with it. Yeah. So that is how, they throw that, good girl, good boy, conditioning, where we are made to tolerate all the abuses, and we have to sacrifice, compromise, and the list goes on. We just have to become a doormat. We have to become an emotional toilet punch bag of the narcissist in order to earn the good girl title, good daughter-in-law title, good son-in-law title, good husband, title. And things are going to change. One fine day, the narcissist is going to realize, and they are going to acknowledge and appreciate all our efforts and everything, and they are going to, seek forgiveness, and they're going to tell us that, I'm so sorry, Sarah, I had been very rude with you. I had been really lost in my own shit, and let's start over again. Things are fine. These, fancy ideas and, dreams never come true. These are just available in movies, novels, fictions, and that's it. So in reality, narcissists don't change. Yeah, they become even more vile and toxic as how they age. So if you tolerate and expect things are going to change, and, one fine day you're going to get that confession, and there'll be a moment of revelation, no, none of those things are going to happen. Yeah, you are going to be supply. You were abused, you will be abused, and you will forever be abused till the time the narcissist is alive, or till the time you are alive. So that is how things are in a narcissistic relationship. So the hope, of things changing, the narcissist becoming a good person after all your sacrifice, that day never comes. So don't buy that stupid dream, and don't buy that theory that things are going to change after some time. No matter how much you pour into the relationship is going to be one-sided, and the controller is going to be the narcissist. So don't exhaust yourself, don't waste your emotion, time, and money in trying to fix relationship, and hoping that one fine day things are going to change. Nothing is going to change. The next thing that keeps us stuck in a narcissistic relationship is fear. Yes, because of all that gaslighting, manipulation, guilt tripping, we doubt anything and everything, that is inside of us. We really don't know who we are. We forget our potential. We doubt and second guess our own potential and, strength. And we just become dependent on narcissists. And yes, that's how the narcissist, gets an opportunity to use us any way they want or they choose to. So fear of being alone is something that we are very scared of, and this is what prevents us from coming out of toxic, abusive, and narcissistic relationships, because we are made so emotionally dependent on the toxic person, in this case of course the narcissistic person, that we can't think of being alone. Being alone feels scary. Being alone, feels not right. Yeah, though we might have had, spent a lot of time alone earlier, but since the time we are in this narcissistic relationship, oh, there is a lot of this unhealthy dependency that we develop on the narcissist, and the credit goes to the narcissist manipulation and all that gaslighting. So there is a lot of fear. We really don't feel safe to be alone. We begin to believe that, we begin to live that, and because of that we avoided that. Now I really don't want to be alone. I can't be alone. I can't manage things alone. It is going to be very difficult. Yeah, because you need to understand, the narcissist gaslighting is so toxic and vile that you might second guess your own feeling and emotion. You might, end up just doubting your own self, that maybe I deserve all this bad thing. Maybe I am not good enough. Maybe I'm not capable enough to have a relationship. Maybe I'm not worthy enough to have a good relationship. Yeah, so yes, this fear of not feeling safe, being alone, is something that prevents us from, coming out of a narcissistic relationship. We get so dependent on the narcissist that being alone is almost something which is next to impossible. It's absolutely impossible for us to visualize that we can ever be alone. It's very difficult. We are groomed, conditioned, and trained in such a way in narcissistic relationships. Yeah, we choose to be with the narcissist, and we choose to keep on enduring it in hopes that one fine day things are going to change. I mean, where am I going to go if I come out of this relationship? Yeah, I mean, who am I going to have, next to me? What if something happens to me? What if this happens or that happens? So we get tamed to such an extent that we choose to be in that relationship, bear with all that tantrum, bear with all that neurotic shit show. And also, I would want to make another point, that most of these toxic enablers around us, they also go on telling us how many relationships you are going to change, how many times you are going to leave people. You have to settle with someone, you have to compromise, you have to sacrifice, you have to overlook. Yeah, so these kind of enablers further add salt and pepper to your misery and to your pain and agony. So yes, they also are an important factor in you or me having that fear of being alone. And what if things don't work out in future? What am I going to do all alone? I mean, life is going to be so difficult. I won't be able to do anything all by myself. Yeah, as it is, lose all that confidence, self-esteem, self-worth. Everything is crushed, invalidated, minimized. We are just dehumanized when we are in relationship with a narcissist. So there is a lot of fear that stops us from coming out of a narcissistic relationship. The next reason that keeps us stuck in a narcissistic relationship is this curiosity. Again, remember I told you about that fairy tale dream that is sold to us by these enablers, that one fine day things are going to be fine. So yes, we are curious beings, and we think that, okay, let me wait for a while. You never know, things might change. Hope, fear, guilt, and curiosity, perfect combination to keep us stuck in narcissistic relationship. So yes, so we choose to play a little bit longer. Let's see what happens. Let's see how things are. Let's see, maybe I can manage, maybe I can work it out. Well, my mom said this, things might change if I have a daughter, things might change if I get a job, things might change this and that. Nothing changes. Narcissists become more toxic, with age. They are wild, they are toxic, they are narcissistic. So there is nothing that changes. Nothing really good happens, by staying in a narcissistic relationship. You go on losing yourself. You go on losing yourself to such an extent that it becomes really difficult for you to move on or come out of narcissistic relationship. So yes, curiosity, I mean, and hope to see good things after some time, these things only exist in novels, fiction, and movies, that we wait and we sacrifice, and one fine day we got the label and everyone recognized us and everyone appreciated us, validated all our efforts and all of that. So those things really don't exist and happen in narcissistic relationship. So this curiosity, is absolutely a waste. This curiosity to wait and see that, yeah, things are going to change. My narcissistic mother is going to transform and she's going to see what a good daughter I am. My narcissistic wife is going to, change, and she's going to one day realize things, I went through and I suffered and I did, to keep the family together, to make her happy, what all I went through to make my wife happy, make my kids happy. One day my wife is going to realize. No one is going to realize anything. You are going to feel more miserable. You are just going to be, a doormat, a servant, or an emotional toilet for the narcissist. So nothing really changes. So having curiosity for other things is fine, but having curiosity, in a narcissistic relationship, and having this, hope that things are going to change, and let's see how things are, transforming. Let's see how this happens. Let's see how that happens. Let's see what happens after this. Let's see what happens after that. There is no point. Things are going to be toxic. It's going to turn more wild after some time. And the last reason why we are stuck in narcissistic relationship is lack of knowledge. Yes, a lot of people that I come across, who are my clients, and some of the subscribers, they tell me that, they had no idea what narcissism is. They had no idea what, a narcissist is. And they had been with a narcissist, and they were just unaware of all of this. And one fine day they come across my content or someone else's content, or this blog post or that blog post, and then they connect the dots, and then they realize, oh, I had a narcissistic mother. Oh, I had a narcissistic wife. Yeah, after 40-50 years trying to make things work out and bearing with it, sacrificing, listening to it, and all of that, there is very less awareness about these things in our Indian society. So yes, lack of knowledge also keeps you stuck in toxic relationship. We really don't know what healthy relationship is. We really don't know what toxic relationship is. Yeah, and this lack of knowledge works in the favor of narcissists. Yeah, they are able to use us for longer. Yeah, we are at their service for longer, maybe for a lifetime. So yes, this was a couple of things that keeps us stuck, with the narcissist, or keeps us stuck in a narcissistic relationship. In case if you would like to add in something, you can always comment below, and please don't ignore the red flags. And it's one life. Don't, keep trying to make things work out. If it's not working out, it's never going to work out. It's always, better to be alone and fit and peaceful, rather than being in a toxic relationship and being drained emotionally and physically. So yes, think about it. Don't ignore the red flags, and if you know that you're with a narcissist, be careful, or try and stay away from narcissists, or cut off your ties. I wouldn't stress on that. That's your decision. You have to, make that difficult decision yourself. So please take care of yourself, and please protect yourself. Don't, lose yourself. You have a lot of, value, potential, and worth inside of you. Don't doubt and don't second guess and don't criticize your own self. Yeah, don't doubt yourself, and live your life to the fullest. Please take care of yourself. Lots of love and blessings to all of you. Bye.